Hey, it's the nerdy sports fan! Football is back and we all once again have a reason to live. Yes. So, Thursday night, Green Bay, Chicago, 100 years of the NFL. I mean, can it get any better than that? The oldest rivalry in the sport celebrating the centennial. That's just perfect in my book. So, both teams had some turnover in the offseason, so we were all really interested to see what was going to go on. And the answer was not much. I mean, just look at the scoreboard. 10-3. Pretty boring. Pretty crap. But, at least I was right. The Packers won. So, you should have seen this coming, guys. You have preseason where nobody plays their starters and there's no rhythm on offense. Defense always has the advantage early in the season because, well, they play with a lot more speed and instinct and they don't need as much rhythm and chemistry amongst each other in order to make things work. Whereas, really, the offensive line, the running backs, and the quarterback have to be in such ridiculous sync in order for an offense to be effective. Yeah, the first few weeks are going to be crap until people start playing in the preseason again, which, heck, might never happen. So, this is what we get. Well, the Bears looked somewhat promising until, tail end of the first drive of the second half where they penaltied themselves out of field goal range and never really had a chance to score again after that. It really was a competitive game up until that point. Both defenses are absolutely fantastic, at least right now. We should have known that Mike Pettine was going to field a very good defensive unit once they gave him better pass rush in Preston Smith and Za'Darius Smith and a safety that knows how to call a secondary and make some turnovers in Amos. So, and, it didn't hurt any that they stole Amos from the Bears. So, yeah, this worked out really well for Green Bay. You see why they have a promising season in front of them. Aaron Rodgers healthy, a more balanced team with a defense that doesn't just get run all over. Yeah, Rodgers is going to do fine when he doesn't have to put up 35 points every single night. So I think this is going to be a very good year for Green Bay. You saw promising signs. Everybody on the team who's supposed to work, worked. Okay, their left tackle kept Rodgers as upright as you can against the Bears. I mean, they sacked him 5 times. But, yeah, it could have been 10 if they had a crap left tackle. The Bears' defense is still nasty, guys. They lost Vic Fangio. They lost some other defensive coaches when Fangio moved. They lost Amos. But they still have literally everybody else. So they're still going to be the best defense in the league. They just need Mitch Trubisky to actually do something to keep them off the field as much as possible so they're rested and dominating in the second half of games. Well, Trubisky tripped all over himself. Now, a lot of that has to do with rhythm and actually getting playing time, sure, but the offense looked really disjointed. And personally, I feel that has a lot to do with the running back by committee approach. I hate it, okay? You can't have 3 running backs and have rhythm for any of them. 2 is okay usually. A primary ball carrier type and a receiving type. But yeah, flipping Davis, Montgomery, and Cohen in there so much, none of them had any sort of rhythm unless they had multiple plays in a row when they were in hurry-up. In both cases that I saw that, Montgomery and Cohen actually got into a rhythm and looked like they could do some things. But mixing in Davis and not keeping any one of them on the field for an entire series, really, I don't think it's going to work. Honestly, I think you pulled Davis out of the mix entirely. Montgomery looked like the best back that they had in their backfield. I don't understand why Davis is even in there. All he's doing is taking opportunities away from superior players. But Robinson looked very good. Gabriel looked good. It's just the offense in general was a little disjointed. Trubisky made some bad decisions with the ball late in the game, but they're really the only bad decisions he made. Overall, it was just Pettine's defense was all over them, and they couldn't do much because of it. Typically, you'd think that it was going to be the opposite way around because the Bears' defense is so vaunted, but Aaron Rodgers actually knows what he's doing. Trubisky is still figuring it out. So Rodgers had one drive, where they actually got into the end zone. That's all he needed. His defense actually showed up. For once in his career, he's got a defense. So, anything to draw from this game really should be, A, preseason actually matters for your starters too. If you don't play them enough in preseason, they have no rhythm, they don't have the endurance to actually last into the end of the game, and it looks terrible, at least for the first few games of the season. So maybe play them a little more, guys. But, yeah, exactly what I thought was going to happen with all of my pregame videos and preseason videos. The Packers are for real, and I only expect them to get better throughout the season. The Bears had a stumbling block here. They've got a tough road at the beginning of their schedule with a lot of road games. The exact opposite for the Packers. A lot of home games earlier in the season for the Pack, and yeah, I see them taking advantage of it. So they're going to be leading the division by the time they're in their bye week by a lot because the Bears have a much, much tougher road, and they're the only real competition. People are going to want to lean on the Vikings, but I'll buy into the Vikings when I see what they do with the new offensive scheme. For now, it's a two-horse race, and the Packers took a significant lead in this division right out of the box. That's it for this game. There really wasn't much to talk about because, well, both teams looked like crap. It looked like a preseason game. Weird. Anyways, hit up the rest of my content. There will be pre-game videos for every single game, every single week. Hit up the post-game for the Thursday night games as per usual. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and keep the conversation going in the comments.